She didn't raise her voice. She didn't insult you. She smiled, and 4 quiet words slipped out of her mouth, and something inside you leaned forward. Those words didn't sound dangerous, but they were the moment the balance of power shifted, and you didn't even feel it happen. I'm speaking to you as a psychologist, not to make you suspicious of women, but to make you aware of yourself. Because most men aren't played by cruelty. They're played by hope, by relief, by the desire to believe that what's happening is finally real. And the first 4 words often sound like this: I'm not ready yet. On the surface, they sound honest, mature, even respectful, and sometimes they are. But when those words come after intimacy, after emotional closeness, after consistency that suddenly disappears, they carry a very different psychological function. They pause your expectations while keeping your investment alive. They ask you to wait without offering clarity. And the human brain, especially the male brain in romantic attachment, fills silence with optimism. Here's the part no one tells you. When someone says, I'm not ready yet, the key word is not ready. It's yet. That single word plants a future promise without making a commitment. Your nervous system hears, not now, but soon. So you stay, you soften, you try harder. You become more understanding than you were before, and without realizing it, you move from equal participant to emotional standby. This is not about manipulation by design every time. Many people use these words because they are conflicted, avoidant, or afraid of losing benefits while avoiding responsibility. But impact matters more than intent. And the impact on you is subtle erosion. You begin negotiating your needs instead of honoring them. You tell yourself patience is strength, while your self-respect quietly waits in the corner. What do you do in that moment? You don't argue. You don't convince. You don't punish with silence. You regulate yourself. You listen to what is being communicated, not what is being promised. And then you respond with grounded clarity. I understand. I'm looking for something intentional. If you're not there, I'll step back. That sentence is not an ultimatum, it's alignment. Men who get played are not weak. They are emotionally open in a world that rarely teaches them how to protect openness with boundaries. Awareness is the protection, not bitterness, not control. Awareness. Because the moment you stop chasing potential and start responding to reality, the game ends, whether she stays or goes. The second set of 4 words rarely sounds like rejection. In fact, it often sounds reassuring, soft, almost comforting. She looks at you and says, I don't want labels. Now listen carefully, because this is where many intelligent, self-aware men lose their footing. Those words don't mean she doesn't want you. They mean she doesn't want limits. Labels create structure. Structure creates accountability. And accountability removes the freedom to keep options open while enjoying the emotional safety you provide. From a psychological perspective, this phrase activates something dangerous in men who pride themselves on being modern, understanding, and emotionally evolved. You don't want to seem controlling. You don't want to push her away. So you tell yourself labels are outdated. You tell yourself connection matters more than definition. But here's the truth most men learn too late. Clarity is not control. Clarity is self-respect. When a woman says, I don't want labels, while continuing to behave like a partner, calling you when she's stressed, leaning on you emotionally, expecting consistency, she's unconsciously outsourcing the role without signing the contract. You become the boyfriend in function, but not in position. And positions matter because they define how replaceable you are. Your brain interprets closeness as progress. Her brain may interpret closeness as comfort. 2 completely different internal experiences happening in the same interaction. And unless someone speaks reality into the space, the person who invests more loses leverage. What makes this phrase especially powerful is that it flips responsibility. If you ask for clarity after she says this, you are framed as the one pushing, as the one moving too fast. So many men retreat at that point, not because they agree, but because they don't want to risk losing her. And the moment you abandon your needs to preserve access, the dynamic tilts. Here's the grounded response most men are never taught. You don't debate labels, you state direction, calmly. I'm moving toward a committed connection. If that's not what you want, that's okay, but I won't blur lines. Notice the tone. No anger, no pleading, no fear, just orientation. If she truly values you, clarity will not scare her, it will anchor her. If she only values the benefits you provide, she will resist definition while continuing to extract emotional labor. And that resistance is information, not an insult. Men who thrive in relationships are not the ones who avoid tension. They are the ones who can sit inside it without abandoning themselves. Labels don't trap the right people. They reveal the wrong ones. And once you understand that, those 4 words lose their power over you entirely. The third 4 words often arrive when you start sensing distance but can't quite prove it. Her replies slow down, her warmth cools, your intuition whispers, but your logic argues back. And then she says, "Let's take it slow." These words are dangerous not because they're always dishonest, but because timing gives them meaning. When they come at the beginning of a connection, they can signal healthy pacing. But when they appear after momentum, after intimacy, after emotional acceleration, they don't mean slow, they mean stall. From a psychological lens, this phrase acts as a regulator. It reduces your expectations while maintaining her access to you. It buys her time to reassess, compare, or emotionally detach, while you remain steady, available, and hopeful. And because slow sounds mature, you're less likely to challenge it. You don't want to be the guy who rushes, so you suppress your confusion and translate her withdrawal into wisdom. Here's what's actually happening inside you. Your attachment system is activated. When progress is interrupted without explanation, the brain seeks resolution. That's why you think about her more. That's why you replay conversations. Uncertainty increases emotional fixation. It's not love, it's neurological tension. And "let's take it slow" feeds that tension perfectly. Many women who use this phrase aren't consciously playing a game. They're managing internal conflict. They like how you make them feel, but they're unsure if they want to choose you. Instead of choosing or releasing, they pause the frame. And the man who stays paused too long becomes background, safe, but not desired. What do most men do here? They overcorrect. They become extra patient, extra kind, extra flexible. They think slowing down means proving they're not needy, but in reality, they're signaling they'll accept less than what they want, and attraction does not grow in self-abandonment. The response that protects you is subtle but powerful. You don't challenge her pace, you align with your own. I move slowly when it's mutual. If the energy changes, I pay attention. Then you actually change your behavior. You stop over-initiating. You stop filling gaps. You let space reveal truth. If her interest is genuine, she will step forward to meet you. If it's conditional or fading, the distance will grow, and that clarity saves you months of quiet confusion. Slow is not a problem. Unbalanced is. Men who get played often mistake emotional restraint for emotional depth, but depth requires reciprocity. And when you learn to read the shift, not the words, you stop negotiating your worth for reassurance. Taking it slow should feel calm, not anxious. And the moment it feels anxious, your nervous system is already telling you what your mind is afraid to accept. The final 4 words are the most deceptive because they sound like reassurance. They arrive right when your doubt finally surfaces, right when you're about to pull back. She senses the shift and says, "I really like you." Those words are powerful because they soothe without anchoring. They calm your anxiety, but they don't change behavior. And the human mind is wired to trust words over patterns when emotions are involved, especially men who are often taught to take things at face value rather than read subtext. So, you relax, you stay, you tell yourself you were overthinking. But here's the psychological truth. Liking someone and choosing someone are 2 very different neurological processes. "I really like you" activates warmth without obligation. It keeps emotional access open while avoiding commitment. And when those words are not followed by consistency, effort, or forward movement, they function as emotional sedation. This is where many men lose months or years because they confuse affection with intention. She may genuinely like you. She may enjoy your presence, your attention, the way you stabilize her emotions. But liking is passive, choosing is active. And adults don't build relationships on liking alone, they build them on decisions. What's especially dangerous about this phrase is that it creates self-doubt in you. If she says she likes you, then the problem must be your impatience, right? Your expectations, your insecurity. So you silence your needs again. You wait for actions to catch up to words, and sometimes they never do. As a psychologist, I want you to understand this clearly. Consistency is the only language that matters in attachment. Not chemistry, not promises, not reassurance, consistency. When someone likes you and chooses you, you don't feel confused. You don't feel like you're guessing. Your nervous system feels settled, not alert. The moment you hear, "I really like you," without alignment, your response should not be emotional. It should be observational. You watch. You don't invest more. You don't pull away dramatically. You simply stop filling the gap between words and actions. You let reality speak. And here's the hard truth most men avoid. Being liked is not enough. Being wanted is not enough. Being chosen is the standard. The second you internalize that, you stop accepting half connection as a compliment. You stop auditioning. You stop hoping someone will eventually see your value. Now, I want to ask you something personal and answer honestly in the comments. Which of these 4 phrases have you heard before? And what did you do after you heard it? If this video put words to something you felt but never understood, like it. Subscribe if you want clarity instead of confusion. And share this with a friend who keeps giving more while getting less, because someone needs to hear this before they lose themselves trying to be chosen.